Welcome to the Horses A to Z podcast. I'm Dr. Kimberly Cole, your host today. With all that's going on in the world these days, I thought it would be a nice change of pace to introduce a little bit of humor. I came across a blog on social media called The Potentially Possessed Horse that had me laughing so much that I reached out to the author and asked if she would join me for this week's segment and share it with our listeners.
Hello, my name is Angelina Vita and I'm the voice behind the blog The Potentially Possessed Horse. This blog basically just chronicles my crazy life with my horse Gunsmoke. Gun is a 5-year-old thoroughbred I bought from Florida almost 3 years ago now. He came up as a just turned 3-year-old with some baggage from his past and how he'd been trained. So it took months to be able to get him to trust me. I couldn't touch him forever.
How did you get started writing your blog?
I'm an English student at university right now, so I write all the time. One day he was going to turn into something I was going to write about, and he did. Last year he had a serious injury again. He's always hurting himself, but last year he had a serious injury and was off for months, and then he finally came out of rest and was working for the first day, and he was absolutely crazy. So I posted about it on my private social media. Literally overnight, the post blew up. I called him the potentially possessed horse in the post for the first time because I was literally just picking on him with my friends on my page, and it went insane. When I woke up, literally the post was everywhere. I had complete strangers talking to me about him, and I had no idea. Everybody started recognizing him online. Within a week, he was some little celebrity. It was the weirdest thing. I got a lot of pressure to start a blog, and then as an English student, I thought, yeah, that's probably smart. I think I could write stories about my horse. I can. And the good thing is, Gunsmoke never stops doing insane things, so there's always something new to write about. Crazy. I don't have a normal day with him. The goal in my life is to one day write a post that says Gunsmoke was normal today. I don't think that will ever happen, but that is literally my end goal in life.
So what prompted your recent post about Gunsmoke and the chickens?
This weekend I fell off him for the first time. I've had him 3 years. I've never fallen off him. This weekend was the weekend that brought us down from greatness. Let's read the story of why I fell off Gun this Friday. Thwarted by a chicken. That's the title of this post. It's fitting. You might be wondering, how does a chicken thwart anything? They have no thumbs. Well, let me tell you, chicken thwarting is a very real, very dangerous problem. Let's start at the beginning of the story. My mother has chickens. A few hens, 2 mean roosters, 8 eggs a day, that sort of thing. Gun and I don't bother the chickens don't bother us. Until they did. Or more specifically, one did. So Gun and I went for a ride today, a peaceful, normal ride. We stopped for a break and happened to be standing near the chicken house. I was sitting on his back. We were hanging out, relaxing. And then tragedy struck. Here comes a maniac chicken flying out of her house straight for us, a flaming sword clutched in her talons and malicious intent shining in her eyes. Gunsmoke read the situation, realized this dragon chicken planned to murder him in broad daylight, and instantly reacted. Now, if you haven't learned this about Gunsmoke yet, his reactions are always instant. Always. My reactions are not. So here is this killer hen shrieking murder clucks in her wake, and here is Gunsmoke leaping straight up into the air to avoid death. And here is me pitching to the ground like a pancake falling off the table. Long story short, a chicken scared the crap out of Gunsmoke, and I fell off. It's a long way down. I saw my life flash before my eyes around 8 times before I finally hit dirt. I even relived some of my highlights in a couple short movie trailers. But when I did land, I landed like that pancake I mentioned earlier. Splat flat. Yeah, Gunsmoke's first impromptu rider dismount did not occur because of some grand cross-country jump, some violent bee sting, or some amazing natural catastrophe. A chicken brought us down from greatness. A chicken thwarted us. So beware, loyal readers. Chickens are dangerous. Also, yeah, we're both fine. I might not be able to sit down comfortably for a few decades, but I'm not missing any limbs. Gunsmoke was more scared of me falling off than he was of the chicken, but he also recovered. Honestly, it could have been worse. That death chicken could have caught us if Gun hadn't reacted so quickly. I really am grateful to him for thinking so quickly and getting himself out of danger like that. Maybe next time he'll bring me with him. So yes, that's the story of the first time I fell off Gunsmoke. A chicken tried to kill him, and he decided it was time to sacrifice me to the killer chicken and just leave me there on the ground. So that's the story and how I ended up on this podcast. I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. It's been so awesome. If anybody has any questions, definitely just find me online, The Potentially Possessed Horse. He has Instagram and Facebook and a blog.
Thank you, Angelina. And thanks to those who are listening on the Horses A to Z podcast.
See you next week.